to the Northwest Bruin Football Show. I'm Jax Brooker, the head coach, and we're here to talk about our past week's game against Pickens County High School. It was an important game. We had already locked up a playoff game in general, but a couple of things could have happened that could have shot us down to third place and sent us on the road in the first round of the playoffs. But fortunately, the major thing that had to happen for us to secure a home game was for us to win. And our kids knew that. Pickens County needed to win to have an opportunity to make the playoffs. So we knew that we were going to get a great effort from them, and we always do anyway. Fortunately, we found a way to really control the game after an early even match, and we shot out and ended up being up at the start of the fourth quarter 43-14, and we were able to play more people. So overall, it was a very good night and accomplished a lot of our goals as a football team that we set early in the season. So good night for the Bruins. Let's talk about on offense, where we had a very productive night. Ike Brooker was 19 for 27 for 193 yards and 2 touchdowns. Owen's throwing the ball really well. He's played really well for us the last 5-6 games. He's at or close to 3,000 yards of total offense, rushing and throwing and receiving. So it's just been a really good year for him, and he's peaking at the right time. We need him to play well as we go into the playoffs. We'll talk about our opponent later. But he's going to need to continue to play good for the Bruins, and he has, and we're very fortunate to have him. Ray Morrison also was 1 for 1 on a pass to Owen for 23 yards and a touchdown, kind of a change up of things. We'd use Ray in a Wildcat situation, and he has experience throwing the ball in his past here in our program, and did a good job, and Owen did a good job catching it. Rushing on the night, Owen was 13 carries for 96 yards, 63 of those coming on a very long run that helped kind of secure the game to some degree at the time that he made it, and he scored 2 touchdowns as well. Ray Morrison had 2 carries for 43 yards. Again, Ray's playing well at the end of the year and doing things good for us and really playing an important role. Running back wise, Adrian Reyes had 7 carries for 29 yards and a touchdown, and we've kind of nursed him through the end of the year to survive the hamstring injury, and he has made through and did a good job. Was really physical on Friday, and we expect him to play a large role in our playoff game now that we're there. We've got to use all of our options for sure, but at the same time, Cameron Collins has done a great job for us and had several rushes and is going to play. And again, he's a freshman. He has a very bright future here and has done some wonderful things. And we look forward to seeing him this Friday throughout the playoffs and in his Bruin career. We also got some of our younger guys some carries. Luis Almazan had two carries for 10 yards and a touchdown. Dominic Johnson, a freshman for us, also had a carry for 3 yards. So we were able to get all those guys in. Once we kind of, in the fourth quarter, once we got a couple of first downs and really made sure we didn't punt and give up a quick score, we subbed our guys in, and we ended up scoring with our JV there at the end of the drive to give us our only touchdown in the fourth quarter. Receiving, Braden Morrison came in with another strong performance with 6 catches for 82 yards and a touchdown, with the touchdown being a 35-yarder. Braden's done a great job for us. He's over 50 catches in an offense that is spreads the ball around, and Ray's in the upper 50s, I believe, just a few catches ahead of him. And Braden has had a really good year, and we want him to carry on the playoffs, as well as Ray Morrison, who had 7 catches for 62 yards and a touchdown. So he accounted for over 100 yards of offense on Friday as well. We've already talked about him. He's doing a good job for us. Need him to perform well in the playoffs. And then Hudson Gray had 4 catches for 32 yards, just a outstanding performance by him. He continues to get better and shows signs that he and Braxton Floyd are going to be big forces for us as we go forward in the next year, as we lose Ray and Braden both to graduation. But we need them this year, and they're playing well and doing a good job for us. Ike Brooker had the 1 catch for 23 yards and a touchdown that Ray threw him on in our Wildcat formation. Did a really good job catching the ball. And then Adrian Reyes and Braxton Floyd each had a catch for 10 yards. So, guys, we've already talked about just, doing a good job and continuing to be those experienced guys that have played their position all year long. I would like to mention Grant Holder, who hit a long field goal, I believe, close to 40 yards, and did an outstanding, his most consistent job of kicking the ball where we wanted to have the ball kicked all year long. I believe every single kickoff landed in around that 30-yard range, which is where we're trying to hit. We're trying to prevent the other team's athletes from making big plays on us and putting our defense, and then in turn, if our defense gets a stop, our offense in a bad position, and trying to pin them down there. And Grant just did a phenomenal job of that on Friday. At this time, let's take a look at the first half highlights. Start out here on defense. Unfortunately, we gave an opening drive to get a little bit of pressure there by Ike Ralston. Caused them to overthrow. They pick up a first down. Unfortunately, here on third down, we're close to stopping them at the chains, but we end up giving up another first down. I believe they go down and score as an opening drive here. Here, Ike Ralston does a good job on the jet sweep, stopping the quarterback, or stopping them from handing it off. They're running a little wheel route here, trying to see how we would cover an empty set. You see Jax Brooker, Junior Aguirre, and Hayden Maynard all involved in the defensive stop there. We start out the offense, and again, we're down 7-0. One of the few times we've been down this year, late in the season, that is. And here, Owen Brooker with a big run after Ray Morrison's catch up past midfield. We come back on offense on third down. Huge catch right here for a first down. Good delivery by Owen, good protection by our offensive line, doing a good job. Dawson Wheeler, Gian Gomez, Jackson Greason, Austin Duncan, and Alex Starks. And there's a completion for a touchdown to Ray Morrison. There's Grant Holder with the drive through the uprights to tie the game at 7. We gave up a longer than desired return right there, and they end up running quarterback draw. They had a lot of success the week before with that play and this one, and I believe Jaden made the tackle for a loss the play before, and then Connor Cumming makes a huge tackle for a loss as well, and then they come back on third down and try to create a long play, and Dominic Smith does a good job on his coverage, and fortunately the ball rolls into the end zone to give us the ball at the 20 instead of inside the 5. Here we're running basically outside zone quarterback sweep with Ray Morrison, as you see him streak down the sideline and get us in really good field position as we end the first quarter tied 7-7. We continue our drive, run a shallow crossing route here, and Braden Morrison does an outstanding job of catching the ball. And then Owen basically walks in the end zone as we've given the ball a lot on the goal line, and they were really concentrated on our running back getting the ball there. The snap by Jax Brooker, a hold by Braxton Floyd, and kick by Grant Holder. Here they have a big play early in their drive. We got to do a better job of fighting outside on the hitch routes, the fast screens, and we end up giving up a few extra yards there. But at the same time, they're running, and a huge tackle for a loss by Dominic Smith here, putting them in a 3rd and 12 situation, which is definitely what we want. Reyes de la Paz creating some pressure, making them overthrow their receiver, which was well covered by our secondary. Great pressure by Reyes de la Paz, and we end up fielding the ball here. A little dangerous way to tackle, but we keep the ball from rolling inside the 10. We have to end up throwing an interception, I believe, for a touchdown and come back. So the game's tied at 14, very much still in question. And then really we controlled the next couple of quarters here as we outscore them, I believe, 29-0 between the rest of the second and third. A big catch right there by Braden Morrison, a scramble by Owen, and another catch by Braden, picking up a big first down, being a tough guy, taking a big hit instead of fumbling or dropping the ball. Good scramble right here by Owen. He avoids a tackle, ends up picking up a first down. Needs to get down right there being a quarterback, but still, he's a tough young man. It's kind of been ingrained in him. And we end up with the very next play having a big catch for Braden Morrison, scoring a long touchdown there, and Grant Holder adding the extra point. And again, there's 4 minutes left. It's 21-14. We definitely want to create some opportunities. They mishandle the snap on the second play of the half, and we end up with the ball, which is huge as we have an opportunity to go. And then Ray Morrison on the very first play drops back, underthrows a little bit. He'll tell you that he was throwing a back shoulder throw. I'm not necessarily sure that was true, but it's still a good throw It was the right throw to throw the back shoulder, and a good play by Owen on the catch here. You see Will Roper getting down there as usual, but he did miss the tackle in this instance, but it creates a little havoc as we end up tackling them for not much gain, and we get some pressure there. They end up with moving the ball. I believe they got a couple of first downs. You can see them mishandle the ball, and it ends up going to Braxton, and we end up getting the ball back with just a few minutes left, and we have a big play right here right before half, and unfortunately we had a player run into an official, which that's got to be fixed, and they're trying to run a vertical route. Connor Cummins a little bit behind it, but great pressure by Reyes de la Paz, and then a great hit by Jax Brooker interception, which was huge for us because we ran a couple of plays, got a few yards, and ended up scoring right before the half to give us a 3-score lead, which is gigantic in any football game as we go into halftime up 31-14.
I'm Morrison. I play receiver, and my number's 1. I'd either have to say against Heritage, the catch, the game-winning touchdown, or the 99-yard touchdown from last year. People will say I look like the rapper Blueface. I don't know if I do, but yeah. I say last year against Heritage, I was wide open, dropped the ball, it came right out of my hands. I wouldn't say any kid movies, but there is the movie Ring. Yeah, I don't like that one. I'd have some Jordans, some black pants, and a hoodie. Gave a high five, if that counts. I would go into the future and see how it is. I mean, the past is in the past. Think about football, and see if I'm gonna make it. My attitude, definitely my attitude. I used to draw. I used to be good at drawing. I think my mom, my dad, my sister, especially God, I wouldn't be here right now if it wasn't for him. I'm Morrison. I play receiver, and my number's 1.
I'm Alex Sarge, number 73, and I play offensive guard. My sophomore year, when I got to play my first varsity game. Usually the guys pick on me about a lot of things about me. When I have to go back to when I played my first varsity game, I missed a major tackle, got our quarterback sacked. That would have to be the Nightmare Before Christmas. Always scared me. Probably just sweatpants and a sweatshirt, keep me comfortable. Last gift I gave someone was my friend some colored contacts. Probably want to go into the past just to see how life really was back then. I'm usually just sitting there singing to myself. That would have to be me being very emotionless. Probably that I'm actually pretty funny. I want to thank my coaches, my family, and mainly my grandfather and dad because they're the ones that have been pushing me throughout these 4 years really hard. I'm Alex Starks, number 73, and I play offensive guard.
My name is Irineo Aguirre. I am a defensive nose player and I am number 74. We found a snake midfield and I think it bit someone's foot. I watch anime a lot and some of the guys make fun of that, but it's okay. I think I threw up on myself, continued playing, and then threw up on myself again. Snakes on a plane. I don't like snakes. I would probably wear a huge moose helmet. It was a golden rose chain. It would probably be my junior summer year to say goodbye to my grandma. My cat, Mochi. Wonder what he's doing, if he's sleeping on the couch or if he's playing with my dog Spicy. Probably just the way I say stuff sometimes. I read a lot, but it's mostly manga, so that's about it. Especially my mom. I love her to death. I love my dad. Sisters are okay. My old boy Spicy. And probably Coach Rob. He's a cool guy. My name is Irineo Aguirre. I am a defensive nose player and I am number 74.
Welcome back to the Bruin Football Show. We're here to talk a little bit about our defense. Our defense played really well on Friday. We went in with some major concerns about the explosiveness of Pickens' offense. They're so versatile. They throw the ball a lot and have done a good job of being aggressive throughout the season and producing big plays. They have some really good players. Their quarterback that had started the majority of the year was hurt a couple of games ago and didn't play the week before ours. And their backup came in and did a tremendous job for them. So there's a lot of concerns coming in, but I felt like our defense played really well from the front end all the way to the back end. Our D-line was exceptional, creating pressure, tackles for losses, and then our DBs did a good job covering. On the night, Reyes De La Paz had 4 tackles, a tackle for a loss, and 2 quarterback pressures. We talk about him every week. One of the smaller guys on either line, and he proves size is irrelevant when you have the heart of a lion like he does, and he's all over the field and making big plays for us. Hayden Maynard came on with another really productive game. It's really nice to see him hitting his groove late in the year for us. Had a tackle for a loss, and a quarterback pressure. Just a very productive night for him. And both of those guys did that in less than 40 plays. Junior Aguirre did another good job of occupying double teams for us, and keeping people off our linebackers and making people occupy him, which is freeing up our other guys to make tackles. Some of our other guys with tackles on the night, Miles Mays had a quarterback pressure. We talk about him every week. He's had a little bit of a hamstring issue that we had to nurse a little bit as we got the lead, and didn't get to play as much as he typically does, but we anticipate, just like Adrian, turning him loose in the playoffs and him getting his normal share of plays. Colton Harrington, we've talked about him before. He's really came on at the end of the year. Had a few outstanding plays for us, ended up with a couple of tackles on the night in less than 20 plays. Gian Gomez and Dawson Wheeler also moved over from the offensive line and contributed to our defensive rotation, and then Jackson Holt and Jake Billing were involved in the action as well and did a good job for us. Big rotation for Coach Miners. We tried to keep our guys fresh, and as we took the lead, trying to keep our guys healthy as we head into the playoffs. Jax Brooker had 3 tackles, a fumble recovery, and an interception. Overall, just a good night for him, and I know he only ended up with 3 tackles, and some may think that's a bad night, but with what they were doing, he wasn't going to have the opportunity to make many plays, and he still had a huge impact on the game, coming up with 2 turnovers on the night. So very good job by Jax. It's typical, one of the best defensive players in our region for sure. Jaden Santiago had 6 tackles and a tackle for a loss at the other inside linebacker position. We really were impressed with how aggressive he was going downhill. Had a really good game, which is very much needed against the style offense that we're going to face coming up here in the first round of the playoffs against Fayette County. Connor Cummings had 3 tackles, a tackle for a loss, and a pressure. Again, numbers were a little lower than maybe are typical for him, but they give us a ton of empty sets, and Connor's just such a smart player, a good athlete. We asked him to go out and cover some receivers, and he did a phenomenal job, and our game planning is so much easier knowing we have such an intelligent player with the physical capabilities of him, and we're really proud of how he performed. And then Ike Ralston has had a couple of really good games. This may have been his most production he's had all year long overall, with 6 tackles, a tackle for a loss, a sack, and 2 pressures. Again, I mentioned it earlier in the year, he kind of hit that midseason lull because of injuries the previous year. He's not been through a whole high school season, and kind of hit a plateau for a game. We had a good talk, and he's responded outstanding and has played his best football since he's been at Northwest, maybe in his life. For us these last few games, and we definitely need that to continue going forward. Dominic Smith in the secondary did a good job for us with 8 tackles coming downhill at safety. He's going to be instrumental in this coming week. He's hitting his stride here at the end of the year from his safety position, which was, even though he's a returning starter, he played at corner, and he's moved to safety and doing an outstanding job for us. Braxton Floyd, we talk about him every week, playing almost every play on offense, almost every play on defense. Ended up with 2 tackles and an interception, which was huge as they were driving towards our goal line. Isaiah Foster, our sophomore, continues to grow and improve. Had 3 tackles, a pass breakup. A couple of times he gets stuck looking in the backfield, and as he becomes more disciplined on that, his production and usefulness for the Northwest Bruins is going to increase even more. Reese Cowart had 3 tackles on the night from his safety position, and Hudson Gray had a tackle. Both of those guys doing a good job for us. Having to get in pass coverage and then come downhill and tackle people, all sounds fine and easy, but the actual production of it against a good team with a lot of different formations and putting a lot of pressure on us is more difficult than it may seem, and both of those guys did an outstanding job. At this time, let's take a look at our second half highlights. We started the second half and unfortunately went quick 3 and out on offense, punted the ball away, and they're in good field position there. You see Jaden Santiago kind of setting the edge, and Hayden Maynard making an awesome play coming from the backside for a loss. End up making them punt. Ball goes out of bounds, giving us a good field position. So on our second possession, we're running the zone, and Owen keeps it because their quarterback player overplayed the running back a little, and he keeps it and goes 60-plus for the touchdown to put us up 37-14. We come back on offense. Good plays by our D-line. I believe I see Hayden Maynard and maybe Ike Ralston in there. Here they're throwing the bubble screen. Braxton's got to be a little more outside, but still a good aggressive job by Braxton and Dominic coming down. They get off a good punt Young man's very talented, kicked it even further than he had shown on film in the air, and unfortunately we get the ball deep in our territory, but we picked up a first down. In the very next play, we see Adrian Reyes picking up 10 yards and another first down as we're moving the chains. We definitely want to score here. Good throw by Owen, good job on the perimeter by Braden Morrison. We got to have a little better blocking. But we moved the ball, and although we didn't score, offenses can't score every possession. We were able to move the chains, create negative field position for them inside their 30. Tackle for a loss here. Just an outstanding job by Jaden blowing up the guard, making a tackle for a loss. And on third down, they're trying to throw the screen, and we just have a slew of Bruins flying to the football, which is definitely what we like to see. They mishandled the punt, and instead of turning around and kicking it, he falls on it. A few plays later, I believe this is third or maybe fourth. No, we picked up a first down. So that second down, we ended up scoring. Unfortunately, we missed the extra point to prevent the running clock from happening, which is kind of why we were hurrying up at the end of the third. I'm sure some people were wondering why aren't we running out the clock. We wanted the running clock. And Pickens gets the ball back here and decides they're going to run a little bit, and great job by Jaden Santiago reading it and tackling the quarterback. And ultimately, we sub in our guys. We score with our JV. They score a couple of times on our JV, and we finish the game with Northwest 49 and Pickens County 28 to secure another home playoff game. At this time, let's take a look at our corporate sponsors.
Micah Mohan, number 80, running back, linebacker. I had a 20, 30-yard rush against Southeast last year. So the football guys, they tease me about how I tore my ACL, saying I slipped in a puddle. I tried running over somebody, and they hit me back, and I fell back, and I was the one that fell. The Lion King, whenever Scar and the Mufasa die. Sweatpants, sweatshirt. My mom a 3D printed Polaroid camera. A couple years ago to talk to my grandpa again. What I'm going to do the next day. Talk too much. I used to play 3 different instruments. I want to thank my mom for just helping me out, getting me to where I'm at, and just all the people that support me. Micah Mohan, number 80, running back, linebacker.
My name is Jackson Weaver. I'm number 84 and I play DB. I got a really good hit on kickoff team. I was on probation for a speeding ticket. I slip a lot because I'm clumsy. I'm scared of up because I'm afraid of heights. Shorts and a hoodie. I gave Braden Morrison 20 bucks. I would go backwards to the 40s, and I just like it then. I usually listen to music, so I like to think about that. I like to get in trouble. I drive fast. I want to thank my parents, my grandparents, and I want to thank the coaches. My name is Jackson Weaver. I'm number 84 and I play DB.
Welcome back to the Northwest Bruin Football Show, and we just want to thank everyone for all their support this year. The band and cheerleaders are directly involved, but our administration being so supportive of all new people. Maybe the first time in a long time in Whitfield County, the first time that I'm aware of that we had new administrators came in. They were so supportive. Miss Jones and Coach Shields as athletic director. Miss Jones as the principal have just been so supportive and are really eager for us as going to the playoffs. Started the year on a poor note, and starting out the season 1-2. And I think it's a large testament to our coaching staff and especially our players to finish where we did and have an opportunity to host a home playoff game in back-to-back years for only the third time in school history. And we have the only opportunity to this point to win back-to-back years a home playoff game. So, definitely our goal. It's not going to be easy. We play Fayette County this Friday. The GHSA takes over, so I want to make sure everyone knows that our season tickets that have been purchased through various options will not be usable at the game. Your parking passes will still be valid and get you into a parking place. The link will only be online to sell the tickets on gofan.com. We're playing Fayette County. Please make sure you purchase your tickets ahead of time. You don't want to get down to that last moment because they're not allowing any hard ticket sales on that evening. Our current students do get a discount if they purchase before the end of school on Friday. I believe it's $6 for Northwest students only and Fayette County students only. And everyone else has to pay $8 to get in the game. So that's a little bit different, but fortunately we've been to the playoffs for 7 straight years. It's the first time in program history that's been achieved, and we've hosted several home playoff games in that time and been fortunate enough to win a couple in the first round. So our opponent, Fayette County, is a really productive team. Whereas a few plays, they only lost to the region champion by 10 points. We're only a few plays away from finishing second place. I believe they got beat 14-7 for the second place game as well. So they're a region very similar to ours. You can look at our league, and outside of Cedartown, all of the scores are very close, and where you end up in that playoff spot or just missing a playoff spot like Pickens. They lost 2 games, I believe, each by less than a touchdown. That would have helped get them into the playoffs. So, I think it's going to be an even matchup. I think the team that makes the least amount of mistakes will be the one that comes out on top on this Friday. They'll be explosive. Coach Davis is a very seasoned vet. I believe he's been a head coach for over 20 years and has around 100 wins in that time. He's taken some programs that struggled and turned them around. So they're going to be well coached. They're going to have good athletes. They're going to play hard, but I anticipate nothing less out of our young men as they've played and overcome a lot of challenges this season between injuries and early season disappointments to come back and perform well. So, we're one of only 3 schools in the area, I believe, that are at home for the playoffs within the top 70 miles of Northwest Georgia. So we welcome anyone from any school to come out and watch the Northwest Bruins as they take on Fayette County this coming Friday at 7:30. Until next week, hopefully to discuss another week of Bruin football, this is Josh Robinson.